Boom. Oh, so in the books for Dexter, Dokes is still a dick, and he hates him. He doesn't feel right about Dexter. He's like, something's off about this fucking guy. Good instincts. He's a fucking good detective, but he's kind of a prick. I mean, Dexter's a fucking serial killer,
Yeah.
but I mean, he's a good serial killer. Only kills bad people.
He had a code.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, like, I think it's the third book. Dexter goes up against the bad guy nicknamed the Doctor, and he's a Cuban refugee, basically. But his whole thing is he tortures people in horrific fucking ways. So he plays a game of horse, essentially, right? He picks a word, and then he cuts off parts of you to go along the letters.
Ugh.
But he makes you watch. So the first things he does is he cuts your lips off, your tongue out, and your eyelids off, so you can't scream, you can't close your eyes, and you can't look away. Then he puts you in front of a full-size mirror, so you have to look at yourself, and then he starts dissecting you, and he puts you on this cocktail of chemicals that keep you alive. So basically, spoiler alert, he does this to Dokes.
Oh.
So eventually Dokes doesn't have a tongue, and he's missing both legs and one arm, or both arms, I can't remember. So he has like prosthetics. And so eventually he comes in, because the tongue wasn't completely amputated off, it's like a nub. So he fucks up words like dung dung dung, like super messed up. But he'll talk shit to Dexter still, and like he'll be like dung dung bung, whatever. But like you can hear him coming because you hear the of his legs. Oh, it's fucking creepy, dude. And the show, obviously, difference is he got blowed up.
He got blown up like a motherfucker.
Yeah, blowed up real good. Know what I mean?
He showed it too, didn't he? Like, he was all fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't like that guy, so I wasn't upset.
Yeah, he was a dick. Yeah, there's a lot of differences in the book. Obviously, there always is, but like one of the big things is like the fact that the female captain lady dies in the first book.
No.
And then Dexter's brother looks a lot more like him, and people thought it was him. They're like, we caught you on camera being pretty despicable. And it turns out it is his older brother. So, yeah, little things like that, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Know what I mean, kid? Know what I mean? Hey, business, get at it.
Hey, everybody, welcome to the podcast. Before we get started formally, we want you to do a couple things. First, go to our
Send
Facebook
money.
page, like and share the Facebook page. Then follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is...
That comes Natural Pod.
Then you head on over to iTunes, you subscribe to the podcast, you rate the podcast, and you review the podcast. And also do that. It helps us out. Spread the word. Have some fun. Interact with us in the social media world. And now we'll start proper.
One more thing, and we are now on iHeartRadio.
Oh, fuck yeah, I forgot.
So
iHeartRadio,
we are
bitch.
available for, you can search for Comes Naturally. If you type in the word comes, that's COMES, not the disgusting one, but the normal one.
Yeah, get your head out of the gutter.
We will be the first podcast that shows up that I've seen by searching for it. And you can do it through the app or through the website. For those people who can't have their phones at work or have their phones out at work, but they want to listen to it, you now have another option because obviously some places can't install things like iTunes. We are on Google Music, but it's really hard to find. There's a link that's just got activated, so you can use that too. It's just not searchable through their database, which is dumb, but whatever.
But iHeartRadio is...
iHeartRadio, you search for it, boom, comes up. It's the first one listening to a podcast. When you type in comes or comes naturally, if you scroll down past the songs and artists and music and stuff, the podcast section will be the second one, and where the number one pops up. Boom, iHeartRadio. Comes naturally, we are...
Mike.
I am Cody. There's no Joe today. Fuck that guy.
I hesitated. I was waiting for a Joe. And I was like, what?
We are...
What? We just sit here for an hour in silence.
Joe's not here. Yeah, so no Joe. Just the Mike and Cody show today.
How it was always intended to be.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
fuck
no.
that guy. Oh, we feel bad for him. He ain't got no friends because we're virtual friends. Sorry, that's not true. He has friends.
True. We weren't talking about Taj. We were talking about Joe.
True. Very true. Mike, would you like to go into Mike's wrestling minute?
All right. Actual minute this time,
Actual
maybe
minute.
even less. This is your
Go.
homework assignment. Go look up Joey Ryan, independent professional wrestler. Why is this guy special? Well, he just happens to be the only professional wrestler sponsored by a pornographic website. YouPorn sponsors Joey Ryan. You want to know why YouPorn sponsors Joey Ryan? Watch some of his stuff. He has what we call the YouPorn suplex, where he does a suplex with his penis. Ladies and gentlemen, a suplex with his penis. His penis so strong, be throwing people around in the wrestling rings. Also, he fights women a lot in the world of wrestling, and he does a boobplex to them, where he grabs them by their boobs and suplexes them. So, Joey Ryan, Google it. You won't be disappointed. I'm not stretching.
Oh, come on, man. You're almost a minute.
Where was I at?
44 seconds.
Man, I want to keep it tight. That's a tight minute.
No.
That's a tight
Mike's
minute.
Wrestling Minute.
Well, we're still talking about it right now.
I know. I'm trying to stretch it out. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Boom, Mike's Wrestling Minute. Thank you, Mike. And that's brought to you by Our Radio.
Oh, they don't want that.
No. They do. All new podcast starring Mike. It's less than a minute, but it's a minute-long podcast.
Good 45 seconds most days.
Most days. Some days, not even that. Wrestling's fun. Go watch it. Speaking of which, wrestling. So Greg Berlanti, big wrestling fan. Mm-hmm. That's just an actual fact. He's a wrestling fan. But Greg Berlanti, if you don't know who that is, he is the mastermind behind the CW's superhero franchise that he is running. Now 4 shows strong on the CW. They started with Arrow, went to Flash. From Arrow spawned off DC Legends of DC.
Legends of Tomorrow.
DC's Legends of Tomorrow. And then obviously over on TBS before, right?
CBS.
Oh, that's right, because it was really odd. Yeah, CBS, they had Supergirl. Supergirl season 2 and now on is now going to be on CW on Thursdays.
Yes.
Same day as
basically
DC Legends, right?
Like, they just own that week now. Like, it's just going to be a superhero
Middle of the week, yes. Superheroes, middle of the week is...
Yeah.
Nothing else really aims for middle of the week. Like, nothing. So it's really good for them. Especially genre-type shows.
CW knows what's up, too. They know half their people are just streaming that shit anyway.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And so, like, they're the one channel right now. Like, I used to hate on CW all the time. I was like, because all their shit was kind of geared towards...
Teeny boppers?
Yeah. Like,
teen drama
teenage
stuff?
girls and stuff. Like, they had, like, what, Pretty Little Liars and, like, the Vampire Diaries or something like that.
There was the spin-off from Vampire Diaries, not the Royals.
This is a bunch of shit that wasn't for us.
Beauty and the Beast.
I mean? Yeah, just a bunch of stuff that, like, me and Cody wouldn't watch. And so, because of that, when they got Arrow, I didn't even know it was a Green Arrow show. Like, it wasn't on my radar at all.
Because we never watched anything CW, so why would you know what it was?
Why would you think? I just saw Arrow, and I was like, that's a weird name. Then turns out it's the Green Arrow, and I was like, oh, shit. And it was already on to season 2. I was like, well, it got a second season. It might not be that bad. And I watched the first episode. I was like, holy shit, this is really dope, and it's violent, and he's killing people.
Yeah,
mutilating
people.
Damn. And the success of that show has spun all those other shows, which arguably you could say The Flash is actually probably overtaking it as its most important show. Like, it's probably priority number 1 for CW right now.
Yes.
Which is not a knock on Arrow at all. It just speaks to how good.
But also, I mean, so much
is.
like, yes, I mean, they've tied, all 4 of those shows have been linked to each other. Flash obviously started in Arrow.
Yeah.
Flash actually went over and did a crossover episode with Supergirl on a different channel at the time.
Yeah,
and they're planning another one. But it's all because it's Berlanti Verse. It's all in Greg's world. He not show runs, but he created and executive produced all 4 shows. Show ran the first 2 seasons of Arrow. I think partially did season 1 of Flash, and has been helping. He picked the showrunners for the other ones and helped them kind of mold the same teams and everything.
So I haven't seen Legends of Tomorrow yet.
I've only seen 1 episode.
I've heard mixed things on it.
It's not bad.
I'm gonna watch it eventually. It's just one of those things I gotta get to.
To me, it's Joe will argue, but he argues stupid semantics. It's very Doctor Who-ish, and the reason I say this because it's not a fluent timeline. They jump around in time to different realities, but different like timelines that have been skewed differently because of events that have happened, and that's why they're going there to stop it. Blah blah blah. But it's very, very Doctor Who-ish. They have a ship that travels through time and things like that. They often wear different outfits to fit into that timeline. It seems pretty cool.
It sounds like a show that would have been like the biggest show on TNT in like '95
or on Sci-Fi like 4
you know
years
what
ago.
I mean? Yeah.
It looks good. If you don't know, obviously that whole thing again spurred off from Arrow and Flash, but mostly Arrow.
Yeah. Arrow is kind of like their breeding ground for stuff.
Yeah.
Arrow, and for a short lived time, I mean, 4 seasons in, they have had everyone on that show at some point in time. Like they don't even do like a villain of the week thing like Flash did this first season. Like they
or
have
the second season really because they report with the portals.
But it's just weird when you really think back at like all the characters they've come through and introduced, and like what I'm still waiting for. I mean, in a world with Ra's al Ghul,
Batman.
There's a Batman.
They mentioned him.
Universe.
They mentioned Gotham. They mentioned the Cape Crusader.
Yeah.
Ra's al Ghul is literally almost mentioned him. Like he's like the detective. I was like,
yeah.
No, not gonna say
They've
it.
been cock teasing it for a while, but
yeah. You've seen Wayne Tech stuff. They talk about Wayne Corp, like, so it's there. Anyways, so
the reason
I brought this up, not because we want to fucking talk about CW superhero shows, which we do, and it's awesome. And in fact, neither of us actually watched Supergirl, but we air quotes plan on it. As soon as it hits Netflix, I'll watch it, maybe. But Greg Berlanti, gentleman that started this conversation, has been very vocal about making other DC stuff. There was rumors that he was going to be involved in Teen Titans show that's now been canceled. Thank God, because I don't think that would work very well on the televisions. Just because it's outlandish. I mean, obviously, the powers alone, like Beast Boy, Raven always flies, that sort of thing. Starfire's always flying. It doesn't matter. It's not happening now. But he has expressed interest in a little project, Booster Gold. So if you don't know Booster Gold is in the Superman realm of sort of things. Not going to go into details of who it is or whatever it is, but he wants to do it. And they said, hey, cool, you can do a Booster Gold movie. It doesn't have a time frame now. It's just something he's working on. But it has been said by him in an interview with a magazine by the name of something, Vulture Magazine? Yes, Vulture Magazine. I've never even heard of it myself, but apparently it's really big on stuff like this. So in this interview, he states, as of right now, we have no connection tissue to those worlds, speaking of the DCEU. It's a standalone thing. It's a separate project. So basically what that means is Booster Gold, it will be a movie as of right now. Could be in theaters. Who knows? Could be even be released to direct to HD or digital, whatever happens to be.
Netflix or something.
Netflix. But it is it's not connected to the Batflex and the Superman, like Man of Steel, the DCEU as they call it, or this DC Extended Universe. So like the Batman v Supermans, the Suicide Squad, all that has nothing to do with that. It is not involved in that world cinematically. Granted, in the comic books, it's drastically linked to those because it's in that world. But it could, if they could spin it properly, could be in a world where Booster Gold is Berlanti versus Superman. Because Berlanti's getting a Superman. That's going to be in the Supergirl TV show, Season 2. But this could be their way of not having to use the big blue Boy Scout and have the blue and gold Boy Scout be their version of the Justice League's Superman.
Yeah.
In a way.
I mean, I think I know we've had this conversation before. I'm okay. Like, I kind of like the fact that TV and movies are kept separate in these DC worlds, and we're going to have multiples of the same characters, like the Flash and stuff like that. Which seems weird when you think of like the success of the TV show, but I'm pretty cool with just letting them do separate things. We have different looks and different feels of them. Same thing. I'm kind of cool if this movie is its own movie. If it is like a theatrical release movie and it's its own thing and it's not really connected and they're just doing their own thing, I'm okay with that. But also, I have a thing where I can process common sense, and I know a lot of moviegoers can't. So they might be all uppity about like, well, why is he in there? And as soon as like one single character crosses over and it's not played by the same person, it's played in a different realm, they're going to piss off. Like, they're going to be super pissed. So, but no, like, I would be cool to see if they do turn him into kind of their flagship superhero and see what that happens. And maybe it's just like an own little franchise of just Booster Gold movies, which would be really weird, but cool, I guess. Yeah, I'm down for it. Let it happen. Let them do it.
I mean, obviously, if you ask me, Berlanti has done beyond gold for CW / Warner Brothers DC, but bringing, I'm not gonna say two underutilized heroes, but cinematically underused superheroes.
Yeah.
Obviously, their Green Arrow was a weird one to start with, but it also didn't have any expectations because, for the most part, on the small screen, the silver screen, whatever I call it, he's not been used. He shows up a little bit in the Justice League cartoon. He was in the Brave and the Bold Batman show a couple times, but really
Justice
he's
League Unlimited.
Yeah, like he doesn't really like Robot Chicken. He doesn't really show up as like a mainstay. He's not a Green Lantern. Green Lantern's had his own show. He's been featured in all of those properties. Flash he hasn't really had his own cartoon show, but he had his own live action show at one point. We talked about on this because we watched the TV movie. And it has not a direct link, but like a informal link to the TV show now. But Berlanti has done a good job of bringing the B characters and making them A characters.
Yeah.
Supergirl. Granted, I haven't seen it. To me, the previews look not great, but people like it. Not just ladies, dudes like it. Kevin Smith does not count because he likes a lot of things that are fucking
Patton
weird.
Oswalt.
Patton Oswalt. That's the one that actually.
Yeah.
When I think it was when season 1, like halfway through,
He was like
started watching
4
it?
deep. He started
Yeah.
watching it and started tweeting up a storm about it.
So I was
And
like, oh,
Jesus, like how?
Okay, that's legit.
Because I was firmly like, nah, I'm not watching this. And the first person to celebrity wise to say anything, because like I said, Kevin Smith. I'm a huge Kevin Smith fan, but you have to take almost everything he says with a grain of salt because he fucking loves everything. Like that. Yeah, that weed has just made him very agreeable.
Cries a lot, man.
Which is cool. I'm happy for him, but it also means I'm not going to
taking his
take
word
his
for stuff.
advice very, very seriously.
I will listen to what he says,
Yes,
but I'll not run out and do something.
exactly.
But
what do you think? Because like he's already kind of created his own Batman and Superman with Arrow and Flash.
that's why I think using Booster Gold as his Superman is a really good idea.
Yeah,
Because Superman it's hard, like, even the comic books are hard to make a continuing story go on because he is, so powerful. You have to think of other powerful villains that go against him, little things like that. So it's very hard to
kill
keep
him in
that.
the second movie. You know,
Air quotes, killing the second movie. But have you seen the concept art for his return? With the fucking, like, shadowy beard and the long hair? Wearing the
they're
fucking
going
black
long
and white
hair?
suit? Yeah, dude. I was
Dude.
like, what's up? What's going on? But I think it's an interesting look at it because he is very Superman-ish. His suit is outlandish. He wears goggles. I mean, whatever. But I think it'd be a clever way of doing it. But what I'm trying to get at is it's hard to do Superman as a series. Like, Smallville ran for so long, but the problem with Smallville is you wanted that motherfucker to fly and wear a blue and red suit. Like, he never really wore the suit. He eventually wore a t-shirt and an overcoat and a fucking duster. You know,
like if the guys from Always Sunny wanted to be Superman.
yeah, exactly. Like, you know, he never really flew. He jumped.
He flew like one time on accident, right?
Yeah,
like,
when he had red kryptonite on a ring, so he was evil.
I never got into that show. I couldn't really.
I did because I'm a huge Superman fan, so I was like, I will watch this.
Well, I jumped in the way you're not supposed to. I watched like a few episodes that are like in the middle of the series.
Yeah, like
And-
season 4, episodes
Yeah.
8 through 12.
Well, I watched whichever one they did their Doomsday.
That was later. Yeah, that was way later.
So like I saw like that unfold, and I was like, "Well, I don't like this." And I'm like, "Why isn't Superman flying? Where's his cape?
Where's
what
it?
the
Yeah.
fuck's going on?" You know. So
What the fuck is the internet?
Yeah. Did he ever throw the suit on? Even like series finale, like they didn't even get a shot of him.
No,
or?
I don't think so.
What a cock, man.
Yeah.
Why not?
And they did they had Aquaman in it, which I think was still like
They
one
did-
of the coolest Aquamans because it was fucking Raphael.
Yeah.
I mean, they had their own Oliver Queen. He was in
He
it.
had that voice thing, right?
Yeah. He was super cool. They had obviously the Lex Luthor, which to me, like when it first started, I was like, why does Lex Luthor live in Smallville? And I gave it a purpose, but not really a purpose. I also made a reason why he's younger but is bald. It's because of the radiation from the asteroids during Clark's crash landing caused him to lose his hair. Blah blah blah. Whatever. I enjoyed the show a lot. I not recently, but about a year or so ago, caught an episode on TNT or TBS or one of the ones that reruns it, and I was like, whoa, rough.
Yeah.
I was like, the production is not so great. Compared to now, it's hard to say. Like now, like CW back then didn't have a lot of money. Like they didn't have Flash and Arrow money, especially Flash money, because like they do full on CG characters. Grodd, Killer, or the shark,
Killer Croc.
not Killer Croc, the shark.
Oh, King Shark.
King Shark. Little things like that. Obviously, a CG'd Flash every now and then looks a little, you know.
Yeah, but it's so rare that you're not mad
it's still
about
better.
it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The only time this last season where I was like, oh, I don't like that, is when he's fighting Zoom in the sphere when they're supposed to be racing, and the second spoiler, the second
Fuck you. Yeah.
the second Flash shows up.
Yeah.
Like that gets a little dicey.
Yeah.
But you're so wrapped up in like the emotion of the scene, which no one on TV right now, I think, like, I'll just stick to superhero stuff. There's no superhero stuff right now that's happening that gets you emotionally invested as well as Flash does.
Flash does such a good job at it.
And dude, every actor is so fucking good.
Yep.
Like, they're all vets. You know what I mean? Like outside of
Ramon, I don't think I've seen in a lot of things. I can't even picture anything he's been in
no,
other
but
than this.
I should say they're all vets. There's so many good vets.
Yeah.
In it, you know, like they're sprinkled throughout. Like the guy who plays Joe West, who was on Law and Order for 100 years.
Tom Cavanaugh.
Tom Cavanaugh is just so good. And like every and he's been on like 2 seasons and he's played like 14 different people. So yeah, he's so good. And then like Grant Gustin, like that show, you know, lives and dies on him. And he, like, for me, seemingly out of nowhere, I guess he was on Glee. Is that where he's from?
Something like that, yeah.
Like something weird.
I can look it up, but I'm not gonna.
Where you're like, oh, that dude's gonna be a superhero, and like people like me be like, fuck that dude. And then
Matter of fact, I think you did.
And then watching it, I was like, well, I was wrong.
Well, I didn't know. Like I knew.
And Jeff Johns has his hands all over that fucking show, and so that helps.
Yeah, definitely. Him and Berlanti are just like connected to the tips, if you know what I mean, of their fingers.
Just
Don't
the
be
tips.
gross. I just opened much of the tip. Tip touch my balls. But like the thing about that, and like to your point, like I knew they announced that Barry Allen, the Flash spinoff, they're gonna start it off in Arrow. I was like, all right. And then like I heard like they're like Grant Gustin. I was like, I don't know fucking this. They're like newcomer Grant Gustin. I was like, cool. Newcomer, I didn't look it up. So if he was from Glee, I did not know that till just this moment when you said something.
Weird. You have a computer, 2 computers in front of you, and a phone in front of me, and we can't even fucking
I told you I was not gonna look it up,
Google some shit.
but you can look it up while I make my point. I instantly, when he was first on screen, the first interaction he had, I was like, oh, they nailed the fuck out of Barry Allen. In a different world, he's a different Barry Allen than you've seen in other, especially from the first TV show. But he's a slightly different take on Barry Allen, but like very, very similar to what you want from a Barry Allen. And he was very awkward and nerdy. And then when he got like, obviously like when he got the powers, they did a really good job of like making him the Flash, which is really fun.
So he did, sorry to cut you off, 8 episodes of the new 90210, and he did 7 episodes of Glee.
Okay.
So yeah,
so he's a teen drama expert.
Yeah, and he was in a couple other little things, but like that was
those were his big stints,
his reoccurring roles. Yeah.
Before obviously becoming the CW's Flash.
The fucking
right as of
workhorse,
right
man.
now, the gold standard for Flash on screen.
Oh yeah.
So Ezra Miller, you have your fucking work cut out of you. Even though I really liked you in the Justice League teaser, and I liked you in your little bit in Suicide Squad. And I mean, can't really say anything about Batman Superman because like you don't talk and you just run real quick. But
Which
whatever.
is a lot of what the Flash has to do. So we nailed it.
Nailed it. But I liked his geekiness and the obviously extended clip because he had the most, yeah.
It's just fantastic. He was late.
But yeah, so I think they did a really good job. I guess to sum this portion of it up, Berlanti Verse is getting their own movie.
And it might be his ideal. Like, we don't know yet, but it might be his plan to keep them separate from now.
It could be. It could be. He says it would be a separate thing. But that, again, this is referencing the DC extended universe, but it does not mean it doesn't mean he's going to bring it in and envelop it into.
If I'm in charge of DC movies or DC TV, there's a handful of people where, like, at this point, I'm just like, yeah, do what you want. You know what I mean? Like, this is kind of our outline. Like, they're still so early in the process on, at least on the movie side, that they could shift gears. You know, they can, call audibles and let other people helm some shit. But like, nothing he's done has been bad or unsuccessful, at least.
I mean, obviously,
every show has gotten to a season 2,
which is more than you can say about a lot of TV shows nowadays.
Like, nothing gets to a season 2 now. You know what I mean?
Like, and if it does, it's so awful that it has one audience that just sticks with it.
Yeah.
It's good. It's refreshing to see this, but also like does really good with him. Like, obviously, like he found people to do
Arrow
stuff.
going into 4. Like, who would have thought when Arrow started up? Like if you would have told me, like, hey, there's this Green Arrow show on the CW, it's gonna be on for 4 years at least, I'd be like, a season. Tops.
You're out of your fucking mind.
I was like 17 episodes out of the 22 before it gets canned. Like there's no way it lasts, and it lasts, and it set the tone. Honestly, better than any movie universe has really set the tone, And I think the fact that they're on TV is forced them to be more creative and lean more on
acting
and personality and emotional ties, because they don't have that budget to go out and Flash wasn't doing King Shark episode 1. You know what I mean? Like, it had to it did some shit. Like, it earned your respect first before it started busting that out. And by the way, I could say, Flash, Quicksilver, 2 different worlds, blah blah blah. Flash running on the TV show 1,000 times better than Quicksilver running in the X-Men movies.
Yes.
Because that shit looks fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
It looks awful.
His costume looks horrendous.
Yes.
Like, it makes no sense. And B, I don't like their version of him.
No.
I don't like the look of him. I think he needs to be...
It's just the close up
should get me.
The close up and the face, like, no, man, like, it just looks bad. It's like, that's what I expected the TV version to look like.
Yeah,
like, if the TV version did that, I'd been like, it's TV. I had a little built-in excuse for it. But like, the X-Men movies, motherfucker, y'all got all the money.
Yeah,
like, make better shit than that,
Yeah. But Fox.
Basically, the whole point of the story is X-Men movies are awful now. Please stop making them, or just reboot them completely.
When you reboot,
I knew I'd get to a point to say that in almost every podcast from here on out.
Speaking of which,
yes.
Speaking of X-Men movies,
yes.
Did you see the pictures of Shocker from Spider-Man: Homecoming?
It looked awful, right?
Shocker? Did you see the pictures?
I didn't see the pictures.
Oh my god, dude, it looked amazing.
Yes. Did it really?
He looked right out of the fucking comic books, dude. The yellow diamond shaped on there. He had the gauntlets. He had the fucking crazy vest.
Shocker's been one I've been waiting for, because my Spider-Man knowledge all stems from, much like Batman, the animated series in the mid-90s, which I loved a lot, and Shocker was very prominent on that show, and he was one of my favorite bad guys. So I'm super stoked that they announced he's in it.
Gonna show you a picture.
Have they showed Vulture yet?
No. And this is him on set, not filming.
Okay.
But this is what looks like he's walking down a set of stairs. I'll show you the pictures. But like it's dope, man. He looks fucking sick. Boom. showing Mike the picture right now. So if you Google or Bing, whichever you want to do.
You just say Bing?
Yeah.
Why'd you do that?
It's a work thing.
Sorry.
If you type in...
Why are you plugging your shitty stuff?
Yeah. Hey, Bing does some cool stuff. Anyways, if you type in Shocker, just don't hit enter. That'll bring up some wrong things. If you type in Shocker, Spider-Man Homecoming, it did separate Spider-Man as 2 words. I think I didn't do that. But it'll bring you up, and it's like one of the first pictures you see, and you see him walking downstairs, and like he legit looks like the comic book.
Yeah, little loose, though. Like baggy kind of.
Yeah,
bit.
in a way. But like, it looks, I mean, it's dope. Like he's got the...
It's the...
Yeah, the gauntlets and the mask, I think, what actually does it. But this is the guy playing him.
That guy, really? That guy's like an
actor?
Like a vet. Yeah, he's been around. He was in the Mod Squad.
Yeah, here's a...
Was it? No. Was he in the Mod Squad? Am I being racist? I think I'm being racist.
Might be racist, yeah. So that's a full body shot of him.
The Big Hit. Using the Big Hit. That's the one I was talking about.
So...
All right, I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not
it's not a spandex suit, but like I think it's obviously has some kind of usage.
If that's like the first version of it,
yeah, it might be.
It's 100% perfect.
Yeah. But I think he's more of like he's
a secondary
like
street,
not
guy.
a throwaway one, but like obviously he's big into he's a big part of the Sinister Six. So knowing that he's in it, Vulture's in it, that's obviously forming a Sinister Six, which what Sony wanted to do right away with like the newer ones with Andrew Garfield, like that's what they're planning. Obviously, they got scrapped when they abandoned that franchise.
It's pretty impressive how like a part 2 can be so bad that they pull the plug on shit they're already like scouting locations for. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like they already, not a lot of money, but already had money into. That's nuts.
But the cool thing is like this is starting to show we've already seen Spider-Man and what he's going to look like, how he's going to work. Thank you, Civil War. But seeing this definitely helps me imagine what more of this is going to look like.
Yeah.
And see that they're trying to expand on its own little Spider-Man universe.
Do you see that John Favreau's going to be in it?
Yeah, it's happy. Yeah.
That was pretty dope.
Yeah.
He's going to have some stuff from Tony for him. It's going to be nice.
It's going to be a nice little thing. But there's so far 4 rumors or 4 villains rumored for the movie. You have Shocker, which I didn't know until these pictures showed up, and I was like, well, obviously he's on set with the actual team, so like I know that's in there. Vulture's been brought
confirmed.
up.
I thought
confirmed. Well, confirmed as I think maybe the main villain, probably, but a villain. Hopefully it's Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
I still think Michael Keaton would be a very good J. Jonah Jameson, but that's just me. What was it? Scorpion. And the Tinkerer were the 4 that were supposed to be so far rumored to be in the movie.
Okay.
I think a lot of it's going to be like a montage type thing, like seeing him do his thing and like growing more into his abilities. Because obviously, he even said in Civil War, "I've never done this before," and we've seen obviously we see the YouTube video, as he says, the not real video of him stopping a car. He's wearing a sweater and a ski mask with goggles. Tony upgrades his suit, obviously. Spoiler alert. Super dope. Gives
animated
him
fucking eyes.
Yep.
Animated eyes. Movie.
Yep. And then a reason to have animated eyes too.
Yeah.
Not just somehow magically animated eyes.
I didn't really give a fuck.
But it's nice they use that.
I would have just taken the excuse of movie magic for that one.
Like Deadpool.
Look cool. Yeah.
Because Deadpool doesn't have real eyes. He has the plasticky eyes, but they are emotional and they move around. So they don't go like wah big, but it looks dope for real. They give it a reason to have it, which is super cool. But like looks like they're kind of fleshing out his world to be bigger.
No.
Obviously having Happy in it. Tony's supposed to be in it. Robert Downey. So it's just like obviously he's part of the world of the cinematic universe now officially. It just looks like they're building his own little Spider-Verse in there too to play around with. So makes me happy. I think he looks dope. I think it looks like a very like kind of put together type thing. But obviously I don't want it to look like spandex for Shocker.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, the loose list, whatever, but I think it's basically because it's supposed to be more of a real world application. So it's like it's a shock-proof outfit, so he doesn't kill himself when he's using his gauntlets. Grounds him and stuff. But I think it looked dope. It looks very,
Which,
very
I mean,
similar.
I gotta say, I was super excited about how Electro looked. You know, and then but yeah, Spider-Man 2 real bad. Spider-Man movies gonna be awesome. Thank you, Marvel.
Yep.
Thank you, Sony, for realizing you suck.
Now there's just one other company.
Come on, Fox, give it up, bitch.
Yep. So I think doing a Sinister Six without, I mean, because there was Sinister Six, if you guys don't know, Sinister Six doesn't have Venom, doesn't have Carnage, doesn't have those quintessential nemesis of Spider-Man. It has 6 lesser. Not gonna say lesser because they're still villains, but like they're not as powerful to his Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Like they're not as hard for him to go against. So to have those like the Green Goblin, Vulture, Shocker, whatever, like those individually is harder for them to be able to beat Spider-Man, but 6 of them together was going to give him more of a challenge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's nice to see that's kind of like the idea behind it. It's like a Sandman. I'm going to go back to Raimi's third one. Sandman's more of a harder foe to take care of because he can manipulate himself into like a more dangerous situation, make himself into his fist into a giant hammer, grow to 20 stories tall, that sort of stuff. The Shocker just shoots electricity, so that's pretty cool to have like that smaller kind of band of guys that go together. So it'd be interesting to see how much of that is actually true. Is he more of a not a throwaway character, but like a secondary type thing in this one, kind of like Rhino was in the second?
I just get the vibe he's gonna be like a street level criminal. You know what
I think
mean?
Duke
Like,
just has a little bit of tech, stolen from most likely
something that maybe like one of the Netflix shows can work into later.
exactly.
Something that Daredevil has to maybe tingle with in season 3.
Even though they need to fucking have Bullseye. I could have swore Bullseye was going to show up in season 2
I thought so too.
because the Irish were there. I know he's not Irish in the comic books, but I was
Colin
like,
Farrell.
they referred to as like
Colin
this
Farrell's-
hitman guy's coming in, and I was like, oh, they're gonna call Hitman in. Guess who the most deadly hitman in all of Daredevil's little world is? Fucking Bullseye. No, just a crazy Irishman. Okay, my bad. Jump the gun. I'm sorry.
Well, calm down, fat man.
Yeah,
we'll
hey.
get there.
Shut up, you fat piece of shit. Like, well, first off, that's mean.
Goddamn Netflix, man.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Here's a little thing. Jason Momoa is the next contestant to go ka in The Crow. It's more, we heard about it a while ago.
Yeah.
But it looks like he sat down and talked with some people.
This is the only actor I've heard where I was like, yes, remake The Crow. It was with Jason Momoa.
So that's interesting.
You either go someone like Jason Momoa, who's like just super badass and like has that real life believability as badass,
Yeah.
or you go way off the rails and pick someone you would never ever fucking imagine. You know what I mean? Like none of that middle ground shit. You have to go one way or the other.
Nope. Fuck that middle ground bullshit. Fuck that middle ground bullshit.
Yeah.
Let's see. What other news can we talk about? Did you see the concept art for some of the characters from Beauty and the Beast live action?
Live action? No.
Yeah. They had the Clockworth and
And Luminaire?
the candlestick guy.
Yeah.
It looks super fucking like Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah. That's
super
that's
twisted.
exactly what I was.
Yeah.
I was all like, Pan's
Obviously-
Labyrinth. Like,
Yeah, like it's concept art, so obviously it could change quite a bit. But I was like,
I thought it was first look.
Let's first look at concept art. Like this is like
okay.
full on concept art, yeah. Because we haven't seen anything. We literally have not seen anything at all, other than CG, like or not CG, but like fancied up mansion, like castle stuff.
Yeah, I'm actually
with
pretty
the
excited
rose.
about that.
I'm
one.
super excited. Again, I think we talked about this before. Did you watch Cinderella?
No.
Did you watch the what's his name's the guy from Thor?
No.
Kenneth Branagh's Cinderella. Okay, I haven't watched either.
I didn't
I'm going to. Jungle Book, Fucking
dope.
phenomenal.
It was really, really good.
Uh,
Available on iTunes. Go get it.
what?
Now available on iTunes.
It is now available on iTunes, and I think DVD and Blu-ray. But don't buy physical
think
media.
that's
Don't be dumb.
yeah. Don't do that.
Don't be dumb. But like, yeah. So I'm like super. Like, I'm kind of excited. I like Beauty and the Beast is still one of my favorites. From the animated ones, I still think like Aladdin would be like the best thing ever. But that's just me. But I mean, really, again, we talked about this before. It's really hard to get someone to redo Genie as good, if not better, than Robin Williams, because he really made the Genie like what that movie was all about.
Yeah,
I mean, that's really was. So it's gonna be hard. So we'll hold off on that. But something like Sword of the Stone would be dope. That sort of stuff. But yeah, man, so far that little sneak of the cast of the mansion castle thing, whatever you want to call it, for Beast, and like the rundownness, and like Beauty's or Belle's the shadow running around, and then you see the flower or the rose inside the little glass thing with the petal falling off, which is super dope. You saw claw marks and shit. You saw a painting of a
Emma
dude.
Watson's great too.
And Watson's fantastic.
Like, she's probably the best actress that I feel like she needs to be talked about more. You know what I
think
mean?
she needs to do more stuff too, but I think she's also like, because Harry Potter took up a lot of her time.
Yeah.
She's done a few smaller things, like a bunch of art stuff, like art movies or whatever. Nothing I've seen. Like, I've seen her in one thing.
I watched the one where she was that like Kardashian type bitch. What was his name?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the name of it.
I didn't love the movie. I didn't hate it though, which I thought I was gonna hate it. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it, but she did a phenomenal job. She did a really good job of Noah. Noah was another one where I thought was gonna kind of suck, but man, when you have good actors doing their
Crazy
thing,
Rock Angels.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I'm pretty excited about that. Josh Gad is LeFou.
LeFou. Yep.
Which is pretty much the world's most perfect casting. If you really think about it. But I don't know, homeboy Dan Stevens. Who is this guy? He's playing the Beast.
He's been in a few things. I'm sure if you look at his IMDb list of stuff. Did you see? Speaking of while you're looking it up, did you see the picture that James Gunn posted on his Instagram and Facebooks and all that fun stuff about the Groot script? So he gives. So for people who don't know, there's a script that everybody gets. Then there's scripts just for the character and the scenes that they're in, because obviously they don't need a whole script with stuff for scenes that they're not in, but they want to have overall. So a lot of actors will only choose to have their script, which is just the stuff for them and the scenes that they're in. James Gunn goes a little farther. This dude writes a Groot script, right? Gives it to Vin Diesel. Obviously, you're saying, well, Vin Diesel just says, I am Groot. A lot, right? So this motherfucker went through and rewrote it in English, so Vin Diesel will know how to do the inflection and know what he's meaning.
Oh, wow.
For the Groot lines. What? So in that conversation, and he did this for the first movie too.
Oh, wow.
So that thing where like Rocket, like you're like, oh, like Rocket can understand him, but like, does he really? No, like that proves like this, like saying that he's put so much thought into it. It's not just the I am Groot thing.
It makes me feel better that I cried in that scene then, knowing that there's an actual message.
Yep. So yeah, and they talk like I didn't read the article because I kind of want Guardians 2 to be like more of a surprise in certain things.
Yeah.
But like he talked about like how he met with Vin Diesel and like went over like obviously that script, and he talked about how he's gonna be Baby Groot through this movie, so he won't be full size Groot for maybe even like the whole thing. But like a lot of the concept art, you see Baby Groot riding on Drax's shoulder, and stuff, like that. So it'd be interesting to see like how that works out.
Not in a pot though. He's outgrown.
Yeah,
the
he's
pot.
out. Yeah, he's like this
He's
is the
got
picture. He's like legs and he's walking around like he looks like Groot, but like a baby.
And
Groot.
also, he has gone on record saying he violently murders some people in this movie.
Yeah, he violently murdered some people in the first one. If you saw it,
and then the adorable smile afterwards.
The childlike wonder in his eyes, it just fucking murderlated. Like those 19 people in that hallway, where he stabs through and just
fucking whipped them around.
Yep. That sort of stuff, whatever.
That was Groot's version of puny God for the Hulk. You know what I mean? Like,
I was looking for other stuff to talk about. Dude, Magnificent Seven. So excited! I just want to see this movie now.
So on board.
Like, Makes me fucking mad. We're so far away, but we're not far away. It's like that point where like I'm excited because it's only a few weeks away, but I'm pissed off because we're only a few weeks away.
Yeah.
It's like, why can't we just once you get to September, can I just have these movies? Like, just give them to me to watch.
Yeah.
No, it's not. I have to wait for
That's
that
how
day.
it should work.
Go fuck yourself. Pick a month. When that
Like,
month
it's
comes,
done.
give it to me. Yeah, it's over in
done.
Toronto Film Festival right now.
It's available.
People have seen it.
Let everyone see it.
Let me see it.
Why are you doing it?
Why are those Canadians so goddamn special?
Yeah.
I'm not Canadian.
Yeah.
I'm not special, apparently.
Stupid.
Yeah, it's some bullshit. I watch movies. I enjoy them.
I watch a lot of movies.
Yeah. What else? There's something else I want to talk to you about too, besides that stuff. Pictures of Gabriel Luna on the set of Agent Shield as Ghost Rider. Looks pretty cool. You haven't seen him with the mat with the face yet.
Do you see the little viral video they released of like somebody, found footage type video thing? It was pretty
the
cool.
car driving. And stuff.
Are you a little disappointed they did the car and not the bike?
I kind of am, but I kind of not also, because the bike Ghost Rider seems like a darker character,
Yeah.
and I kind of want that to be a Netflix thing.
We're never gonna get it now. You realize that, right?
Go fuck yourself. But I also want like a Ghost Rider like world.
Yeah.
Like I want the multiple Ghost Riders, and I want their enemies. But that's why I want the Netflix show, because it'll be fucked up and they'll kill people.
I still want Sam Elliott in it though.
Okay, I'll let you have that one. Just the only problem is that means you're linking those.
No. He can play a different character.
He could. Yeah, I'm saying.
He could be the Ghost Rider. I'm dope with that.
Well, he was the Ghost Rider. I don't
Yeah,
know.
well, he can be like the main character Ghost Rider.
He's already on Netflix.
He's got a relationship with those people.
Yep. He's like, I'm on a Netflix show. I still have not finished watching that show because it kind of made me mad.
Well, that show is so weird. Was it The Ranch?
Yeah, The Ranch.
The Sam Elliott, Ashton Kutcher TV show on Netflix had some laugh out loud moments, and then had just horrible stage sitcom-y bullshit happen. And it was like, it was one of those shows where you're like, okay, there's enough good in this one episode to watch a second episode. We watched the second episode, and it's like the exact same amount of really good and then really bad. And then we watched the third episode, and we're like, it's not changing at all. I think this is the show. I think it's either a lot of really good and a lot of really bad. Like, it's fucking 11 minutes of hilarious and then 11 minutes of, audience applause, laughing, and bullshit fucking... Ugh, it was just weird, man. I don't understand it. Hopefully they clean it up in the second one.
Maybe.
Probably won't, though.
I don't know, man. Oh, I forgot they're
I
making.
almost feel like if we don't watch it, Danny Masterson's never gonna get work again. You ever get that feeling? You ever watch something just because you're like, I kind of
really
like
want
this
that guy
actor.
to do something. Yeah, I almost ended with Brandon Routh
Yeah.
because I like that guy. He just,
Yeah.
I think he finally found
I
something.
watched
that's,
Dylan Dog because I was like, I want Brandon Routh to
Yep,
work
exactly.
out. Kind of like Dylan Dog too.
Dylan Dog was fun.
Yeah.
It's one of those fucked up
nobody else
ones.
watched it.
Yeah, like, there was like 14 people, and I think 4 of those were Brandon Routh and his friends.
Yeah.
Um,
They're like, oh fuck you.
I am, though. I will say this about Dylan Dog. I am upset I didn't get to see it in theaters. I think it would have been a good movie. I think it would have been a fun movie to see on the big screen.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy a lot of it. I enjoyed all of it, really, because it's like a super fucked up movie in a way, but without being like exploitation-ish, super over the top violent. But I think it was fun. He was really good in it. He's really good in Arrow / DC Legends of Tomorrow, that sort of thing. So I'm okay with it. What are some of the other actors like you're surprised aren't bigger stars? Like Giovanni Ribisi seems like he should be someone who is everywhere.
It's because it's him personally, though.
Is that what it is?
That's
You
the
think?
issue.
Just
He's
fucking
one of
nutball?
those weird Scientology guys.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. There's people everywhere.
No, but like the weird one.
Oh, he's like hard.
And he's a method actor too, which turned a lot of people off. When
He's
he
a
was-
method actor. That means that fucking freaky shit from Ted and Ted 2?
Well, I don't know
Because
how
that
that
is straight
works.
pedophile.
But there is stories floating around of him walking around acting like he had Down syndrome for My Sister's Keeper, which is like, you're an actor. You can get into that on set. You don't have to go around public doing that.
Yeah, you don't have to ride the bus counting potatoes. I think that's what they do.
More so than Giovanni Ribisi, I think.
That's the one.
My brain's not working right today. The guy, he's doing those shitty DirecTV commercials now, but he's a really good actor. He was the manager in Cinderella Man. He was in Shoot 'Em Up. He was in
Paul Giamatti?
Yeah,
He's on DirecTV. He does CenturyLink.
essentially whatever.
Yeah.
Still same shit. Stupid fucking TV service commercials, but he's great.
Paul
Like,
Giamatti's fantastic and everything.
And what?
And he does weird shit. Like he was in John Dies at the End, the movie.
Yeah, for like a little bit.
No, he's in it quite a bit.
Oh, is it?
He doesn't play like through the whole movie, but
Yeah.
he's a main character. Like he's being narrated to. But it's like, dude, like you're Paul Giamatti. Like you're in Shoot 'Em Up. You touched a dead lady's boob.
part. But he's
not the
really
best way to do
good. Like he's a great actor.
He's great, people.
I feel like what fucked him is his like one big I'm carrying a movie opportunity was a M. Night Shyamalan movie, and that fucked him. Lady in the Water.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Like
I always forget that one.
That was like his movie. Like that was,
It was his movie to lose his career
Yeah.
in, for sure.
and like he didn't lose his career, but I don't think anyone. And this is not studio people are stupid, but
We've talked
their
about that
thought
quite a bit.
process is, well, he had a lead. You know, he was the guy in this one, and it didn't make money, so must be his fault. You know, avoiding to look at the fact that you're somehow still letting M. Night Shyamalan make movies, but you're gonna punish the cast members for all their shitty performances. I mean, Jesus Christ! You look back at the A-listers in his movies, and how awful they've been. You know, like I wasn't even a big Signs guy. I was like, that's where I started to sour. I was like, I'm not a big fan of Signs. I mean, fucking Mel Gibson, Joaquin Phoenix, like Mel Gibson before all the crazy,
Before the racist
Yeah.
tyrants.
and Joaquin Phoenix is one of another guy should be way bigger than he is.
Very, very valid point.
But you know, I don't know. I feel like what I want to do more so when I win all the money is like more so than like help people and build schools and feed
Which I'm not going
the
to do
hungry.
any of.
I want to give a good shot to good actors. I just want to let them do their thing.
Unless they're nutballs.
John Goodman's another one.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. John Goodman's one of those dudes that you see him and stuff like, why aren't you bigger than you
You're
are?
great
Like,
in everything. Jen was watching fucking Coyote Ugly.
Yep.
It's not a good movie.
No.
The monologue John Goodman gives when he's in the hospital bed to his daughter, it's fucking fantastic, dude. Like that dude, you give him some well written shit to read and he'll fucking deliver.
Oh, yeah, for
Like
sure.
even in a movie that's okay at best. You know what I mean? And fucking nailed it. He's great. Doesn't get his own movies.
Roseanne's what ruined him.
Eh.
Roseanne's
But like,
not what
but
ruined
why doesn't he get his own movie? You know what I mean? Like that would be a guy. If I'm Netflix, if I'm trying to look at my next, Netflix show, and I know he had some kind of weird show on Amazon where he was like a politician. It was like that was his lead role and shit. And he's had lead stuff, but I'm like, oh, Netflix, AMC, give this man a TV show. You know what I mean? Let him.
Did you ever see Death Sentence?
Yes,
He was fantastic in that.
amazing in that.
Until fucking Baby Tron shot him in the back of the fucking
Yeah,
head.
it did.
Yeah, he's a good one. I was going to say Sam Rockwell.
He's great.
He's great in everything.
I think the common thread between the people that we want to see bigger are the people who make what they want to make.
It's very true.
So that might be part of the problem. Is they're turning down?
Like I say this, like John Goodman has not struggled for work.
No,
Sam Rockwell has not struggled for work.
no,
Paul Giamatti has not struggled for work.
no.
I don't know what I'm
But
talking
I
about.
feel like all those guys every couple years should have one of the highest grossing movies in the country. You know what I mean? Like, or like all of them should be in the top 10 at least in a couple year cycle. Like, but nope.
It should be one of those things where it's like, oh, look, another John Goodman movie.
Yeah.
I mean, he does make. I mean, I haven't seen all the John Goodman movies in the world.
I've seen all of them.
Probably not.
I saw Electric Mist.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
nobody's seen
wasn't
that.
he also in that Denzel Washington movie, Fallen?
Fight?
No, Fallen.
Oh, Fallen. Yeah, he was amazing in Fallen.
because he was his partner, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he gets taken over at the
Oh,
end.
he's in Flight too. Yeah. I forgot.
Again, though. The scene where he's being
The serial killer?
Yeah, where that's him, and he's in the forest, and
By the way,
he's
it's an angel, fallen angel. If you use
yeah,
spoiler.
and he's talking shit and he's singing the song, and then like everything about that scene fucking perfect, dude. It could not have been performed any better. Give John Goodman all the work.
Denzel Washington's another interesting guy too. He has done obviously very large movies, but he's also done. There was a stretch where like he disappeared, but he didn't. Like he did a bunch. Like Fallen's one of them. Ricochet.
Ricochet's so good.
Fuck, when he chain him to the bed.
Yeah,
Like, the hookers sleeping with him, and they're like,
they
oh.
give him like AIDS, right? They give him AIDS? No, it
it's
wasn't
like,
AIDS. They didn't go full
syphilis or something like that. Yeah, not full blown AIDS. You have full blown AIDS.
That's another one where you're like, John Lithgow is like another guy where you're like, well, John Lithgow should be popping up a little bit more often than he's popping up. Like when he was in Dexter, people were like, holy shit, John Lithgow's amazing. I'm like, yeah, you see this character? Go back and watch Ricochet. Fantastic.
Yeah, because
Even
Ricochet makes the one from Dexter look like a goddamn school model.
Yeah, or even his performance, you have to understand what kind of movie it is in the time frame. But in Cliffhanger,
Yeah,
when he's playing evil, like
Buckaroo Banzai.
he plays evil, motherfucker.
Yep. Harry Henderson's. I'm just kidding. He plays the dad.
Well, he tells him to leave and makes him
Punches
sad.
him?
Get out of here. Nobody wants you. Yeah. I didn't cry during that at
Yeah, you
all.
You crying right now?
I might be a little.
When Jack Donaghy watches that and like starts referring to everything as Harry Henderson type things.
Well, and he tells Judah
Yeah,
to go away, and Judah's like,
so funny.
John Lithgow's in that episode.
Yeah, no, that's the best part because that's like the whole thing. They always do that in 30 Rock, like the Seinfeld vision thing. Like Jerry solving
Remember
people's
when
problems.
Michael Keaton was like the janitor.
Yeah,
Like later on, it's like okay. Keaton is another one I would have said a couple years ago. I love Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton's another one that
You
disappeared
ever
too.
seen? Fuck, I can't remember anything today. The Squatter movie, the one where he rents that shit from like Matthew Modine, I think.
Oh yeah, okay, I understand. Yeah. I could probably look
Pacific Heights.
it up. Yeah, Pacific Heights.
I guessed. I might not be right.
Is it? I don't know. Hold on.
And then the alcoholic one. God.
Not how you spell Michael at all.
You should ask me.
Do you know how to spell Michael?
Doubtful. But he was one of those guys, like he was doing serious shit before Batman. He got Batman. People were like, oh, Michael Keaton. And then like, what did he really do after Batman?
That's Pacific Heights.
Yeah. He's creepy as fuck in that movie, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like bad creepy.
It's true.
Pacific, you imagine if they made Pacific Heights today with how bad like those suspense horror movies are now, how good that movie would play today?
It's true.
Like there's nothing coming out like that's that good, you know?
Or Jack Frost. Sorry.
Maybe that's why he went away.
There was a 2-year gap after that.
But there's like weird shit that he did. Like
He did
kinda
a
dumb
bunch of weird shit.
Yeah.
First daughter.
When he did White Noise, which
I thought was gonna bring him back.
that's
Truly
what I was
did.
thinking. I was all like, "Fuck yeah, dude!" Because White Noise, it wasn't great, but it was good enough. I was like, "Yeah, dude."
Because White
gets
Noise
crazy at the end. You
came
know?
around the same time as like Mothman Prophecies,
Yeah.
and like a lot of those weird.
And I think that was better than a lot of them.
Yeah,
You know,
wasn't great.
wasn't great to watch. Like I can watch it if it's on TV. I don't have
Scale
a
of
problem watching it.
so if you had to pick top 5 of Mothman Prophecies, White Noise, Hollow Man. I think of the other ones that are in that same realm. We'll just say those ones. Which one of those do you like better? Those are 3 like older actors, and not older actors now, but not that like they were younger then. And everyone was younger then. Of those 3, so which one do you think? Do you ever see Mothman Prophecies? With what's his balls? The hamster guy, dribble guy.
Yeah.
American Gigolo. I almost said Gene Hackman. It's a whole different movie. You know, French Connection.
You know.
Like Mothman Prostitutes is cool, but I don't know if I liked it that much.
That was more in that boat. I think out of those three, I like White Noise the best.
Yeah,
Hollow Man's probably second.
Hollow Man.
There's a weird amount of camp to it though.
Yeah.
For as serious as it is.
The shitty CG water footprints.
Yeah.
Ugh, so bad. It's like, that's not water. That is like moldable glass.
But I mean, that you also think like just a couple years later, like that's when we got Stir of Echoes.
It's true.
Like how fucking good is Stir of Echoes?
It's true.
Like that movie's great.
A lot of those movies in that time frame though that were like in 2005.
Because there's always certain people, like Michael Keaton's one of those guys. When Birdman came out and it did great, I was like, yes, thank you. Because now he's fucking right up there. I mean, he's doing a fucking Marvel movie. You know what I mean? Like when that took off, I was like, all right. And then he did Newsroom and it was good and it got all the awards. I'm like, great. He's doing awesome shit now. Like he should be. I think we're gonna see a little bit of resurgence of some of these older actors, just because, I mean, I've jokingly talked about this before, but just go American actors under the age of 35 right now. Like, it's not a lot, dude.
No,
There's not a lot to note. And I'm not saying there's no good ones. There's got to be great ones that just haven't gotten their shit yet. You know what I mean? And they're gonna eventually, and they'll do good. But I think because of that, remember, like Hollywood always had like this thing, like it's a young man's game, it's a young woman's game. You know what I mean? When a girl gets a certain age and they stop looking the way they should be looking, all of a sudden other actresses start coming
early
in.
2000s was like the heyday of modern horror, right?
Yeah,
Jesus, I didn't
it was
realize.
great. And then like what 2006ish, it was just like
I think 2007 it like started to fall apart too.
like Saw 3 is what killed it.
I think it was like Saw 4 actually killed it.
I'm gonna go with 3.
Yeah,
Saw
because
1
like
and 2?
in 2000, top 5 horror movies. All right, you have Final Destination, like the OG, like the original Final Destination, not the American Psycho, Scream 3, Ginger Snaps, and What Lies Beneath.
What Lies Beneath is underrated.
Yeah,
That
for
movie's
sure.
pretty good.
So like those 5, and then you also had like
There's 3 high quality ones in those 5.
yeah.
You give me the last 10 horror movies that were released, and there's not a one of them as good as those top 3.
And there's granted every year there's a shit ton of awful ones that come out. So
But there's
I'm not
no
saying
good
that.
ones anymore, I don't think. I don't even, well, I mean, that's not fair. I don't watch them because I think they all look like hot trash. But
There's a lot of them that are hot garbage. But like that same year, you had Blair Witch 2.
mm-hmm.
You had Urban Legends Final Cut, which is like one of the worst franchises for horror movies, really.
That one, that piggy, like Scream was like, oh, everybody loves Scream. Let's make more of these.
Because you had
young people
Scream,
getting
you
killed.
had I Know What You Did Last Summer, like those ones, those teen horror ones.
Scream was really, really good. I Know What You Did Last Summer was all right. Urban Legends was a little rough.
Yeah.
Scream was dope, though.
Oh, Hollow Man was 2000 as well. So I mean, the thing is, like early 2000s. I'm looking at this. I think I knew this, but I didn't know it. Like there's a lot of them. There was a bunch. Then there's like obviously there's a bunch of sequels and stuff in there. But you had a bunch of like independent ones that were good. Jeepers Creepers 2.
First Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah, 2 was
So
not.
simple. Shouldn't be as intense as it is, but they pull it off somehow.
Darkness Falls. You ever see that one?
Yeah.
That one's fucking terrifying. Stupid lighthouse at the end. Like no, you go up and turn that light on. You have like the first of the remakes of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Unfortunately, Freddy vs. Jason. But you know,
Not a hater.
it got
Not a
worse.
hater on that one, sir.
I am. It's not. It's no Jason 10
X.
or X. Yeah.
Jason 10. Might have been the
So you
10th
think 2008? You think is where it started to fall off?
I think we
said?
stopped getting good ones. I mean, with the exception of the first like 3 Paranormal Activities, I don't think there's any good horror movies in the last decade.
2000 actually had a bunch of decent ones, but it had a bunch of shitty ones. Like you had The Eye. Remember Jessica Alba?
Yeah.
She got the serial killer eyes.
No good.
No good. Or Eye. But that same
Was
year,
that one
though,
with Vincent D'Onofrio and Jennifer Lopez?
The Cell.
Ugh,
That was 2000.
hated that.
It was fucked up.
It's fucked up, but it just like
But
so
2008
disjointed.
did have one of my favorite horror movies ever, though.
Really?
The Strangers.
I didn't see The Strangers.
Has your boy Dennis in it.
Yeah. Mayhem?
No,
That Dennis?
no.
What Dennis?
Dennis Reynolds.
Oh, really?
He gets a shotgun to the face
Oh.
all over the wall.
Mm,
But it's based on Charles Manson.
okay.
So back in the day, if you guys don't know, Charles Manson, who never killed anybody that they can prove, but talked a lot of people into killing many people,
Yeah.
had these followers that would go out and they would just torture and kill people. And this is what it's about. These strangers show up to this house and they terrify these people and then eventually kill them. And it's a terrifying movie. Has great audio, by the way, too, if you're an audio nerd like I am. But Saw 5 came out in 2008.
Yeah.
But
no
so did
good no more.
Cloverfield. Cloverfield came out the same year. Midnight
mean-
Meat Train came out. That movie was fucked up.
Fucked up, but is it good?
Yeah, it's good.
I
It's
don't
like it's
know.
one of those, but it's like one of
Good.
those like hardcore like horror movies though.
I
It's a monster movie, really.
yeah. I feel like if you list off your favorite scary movies, like you're reaching back. You know what I mean? Like you're not pulling anything recent. Maybe we'll talk about this next time we record. We'll have some time.
Boom.
But maybe we'll set that up since we're about to wrap up right now.
Yeah, we are.
We're gonna do some scary movie research, folks. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do top 5 horror movies
Top 5 horror movies.
coming.
Soonish.
Well, this will still be next week
no, this will be
because this is gonna be in 2 weeks.
yeah.
So next week,
So next week from now. So basically giving us
when
2
you
weeks.
when you listen to this,
The
next
next
week we will be doing, and we'll stick to this. I know we don't, but this is going to be an interesting topic. Top 5 horror movies. It's gonna happen,
Gonna happen.
and they have to hold up today.
Ooh.
They have to hold up.
Okay.
You have to still like them.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
1 through 7.
One through all of them.
All right.
Boom. All right. That's it for this week's episode of Comes Naturally. We are.
Mike.
I am Cody. And as usual, you motherfuckers just came naturally.